My perfectionist stepmother put a note in the receipt that Americans are not good cooks because they never stepped into a real kitchen. So I proved her wrong the hard way. Dad came into town to visit my brother Mark and me for a few days and brought Gabrielle with him. Gabrielle has this one nasty trick. She is notoriously picky and critical when it comes to food. You know the stereotypical snooty and rude French character in movies or books who always complains that is not how this is done in France? She's this way when it comes to food. Going out to eat with her is embarrassing. She constantly sends back food, is insistent on food being made a certain way, and always demands certain things done a certain way. One time, she asked the waiter to bring some mustard to the table. Not 2 minutes later, she called him back because the mustard is old. Bring us a new unopened bottle. More than once, I've had to apologize to the wait staff on my family's behalf and told the manager that I would vouch for them should Gabrielle leave a bad review on their site. She's made waiters and managers cry. She's that bad. Honestly, I have no idea why Dad puts up with her when she does that, even though I know he's just as embarrassed as Mark and I are. We can only chalk it up to Gabrielle having a magical hoo-ha. When they got here yesterday, for some reason, they insisted they wanted to go out to dinner. Dad recommended our new favorite diner, which is known for its breakfasts at any time of the day. It's a greasy spoon in every sense of the word. Right out of the 1950s, every leather booth filled with truckers or locals, waitresses who automatically know their regulars' orders by heart and don't put up with crap from anyone. A bustling kitchen, and while spotless, is just worn enough to let you know many people have been there. In other words, it has character. It may not look like a 5-star restaurant, but it has some of the best breakfasts you're ever going to eat. I was hesitant to take Gabrielle there if only because I didn't want to ruin the staff's day. Mark and I have been there enough times that the wait staff and cooks know us. However, Dad wanted Gabrielle to experience a true American classic and was offering to pay. So off we went. We got there during a not busy time, so I told Dad to find a parking spot and I would go in to get us a table. The reason I did this was so I could warn the staff about Gabrielle and apologize in advance for anything she did. Fortunately, our usual waitress, Mary, thanked me for the warning and warned the rest of the staff. We go in, get our booth, and Gabrielle tries pulling her usual stunts. Gabrielle sent Mary back 3 times with the coffee because it was too cold, it was too hot, and not enough cream. Finally, Mary just slapped the coffee pot on the table along with the cream and told Gabrielle to make do because she wasn't going back to get her damn coffee. This made Mark and me chuckle and Gabrielle steam. While waiting, Gabrielle decided to accost Stephanie, who had just started, and tell her to get some fresh biscuits. Not ask, tell. Poor Stephanie does as told, and then Gabrielle makes a fuss about the packets of butter not being soft enough, despite Stephanie explaining that all the butter was kept cold for safety reasons. Gabrielle made a snide remark about how Stephanie couldn't wait 5 extra minutes to let the butter soften, which made Stephanie tear up. When our meals did arrive, Gabrielle was quiet during the meal, not making comments. I was unsure what was going to happen as a result. Either she liked it or she was planning some nasty bark. When Mary dropped off the bill, Gabrielle took it before Dad could and said she was paying. Because I was sitting next to her, Gabrielle left a big fat 0 in the tip line and left a note. It's cute that American chefs think they're good cooks when they've never stepped in a real kitchen before. Prove me wrong. Before closing the little book, the receipt came in and hiding it so nobody else could see what she wrote. I was pissed when I read that note. I took out $100 using the ATM at the diner and gave it to the staff as a tip along with an apology for her behavior. Fortunately, they didn't hold it against us, except Gabrielle, and told me that Mark and I were always welcome back. Also decided I was going to get back at Gabrielle. During this time, bored out of our wits and wanting to better our skills, Mark and I have been binge watching recipes and cooking how-to videos online along with practicing. And while I don't like bragging, I'd say we've become quite good. We know how to smoke our bacon, cure corned beef, make creamy scrambled eggs, and bake flaky croissants. When we got home, I told Mark my plan and he was grinning ear to ear. The next day, while Gabrielle and Dad still slept, Mark and I got up early and got right to work. We prepared scrambled eggs, home-cured smoked bacon, biscuits, and a fruit salad. Dad came downstairs first and Mark asked him to set the table. Gabrielle came down as we were finishing up and she sat down, not offering to help. While Gabrielle commented about how it smelled just like a restaurant she went to in France and couldn't wait to taste everything, Mark and I served Dad in our plates before putting everything back. Gabrielle looked at us, confused. I looked at her. Oh, I thought you were going to a French cafe for breakfast, I said. You did write on the receipt at the diner that you thought it was cute Americans think they're good cooks if they haven't set foot in a real kitchen and you wanted someone to prove you wrong. Dad looked at Gabrielle, his eyes wide as all the color drained from Gabrielle's face. You wrote what? Well, hop to it, I said, sitting down. Enjoy your French breakfast with your French chefs. Gabrielle's face reddened before she left. I don't know if she was embarrassed or angry, but we were able to have a nice breakfast without any of Gabrielle's complaining. She did come back after getting breakfast and has been nice and quiet all day. Hopefully she's learned her lesson and Dad grows a backbone. Dad did tell me that he was going to have a serious talk with Gabrielle about her behavior and that until she learned her manners, he was not going to take her out anymore, even to our place. Hopefully, that will be either the wake-up call to Gabrielle to behave, or to Dad that he should get out.